Well met. Safe travels.
Hello. Warcraft.
The answers are here. I can feel it. Keep your eyes on the horizon.
Krona kai crystal. White.
Rat riding time. Yeah, that's dwarves. Dwarves are Scottish. All the different races have different sort of accents and stuff. Like trolls are Jamaican. Can't think of any others specifically at the moment, but the Draenei are sort of Indian. I mean, yeah. I don't know, sort of. I mean, there's like definitely lots of stereotyping of different races. And the basic thing is there's the Horde and the Alliance. So the Alliance are humans, dwarves, gnomes. Humans, dwarves, gnomes. It's a bat, not a dragon. I don't know. It's not mine. So the Alliance are humans, dwarves, gnomes, night elves. Then they added Draenei, Dwarven. And then there's Pandaren from the Eva. Then Horde is orcs, trolls, tauren, undead, goblins, blood elves, and again can be Pandaren.
I need to target something first.
They don't like each other, the Horde and the Alliance.
Loads of forgotten knowledge. Within our grasp. Travel safe!
Most of them are fairly self-explanatory. Yeah, so the humans, dwarves, gnomes, they're what you expect. The night elves are Basically, they used to be high elves, and then they split into night elves, a variety of different elves. Night elves are nature-based, so they like live in trees, and their magic's all based on working with nature and stuff. Get into it. Then Draenei are lycanthropes, is the word you're thinking of. Draenei are called space goats. They're aliens that had to try and escape their world when they was getting demolished by demons, and they crash landed in this world. Then there's Worgen, who are werewolves. They're humans that have been infected by wolves and turned into wolves. Pandaren are essentially just pandas. Worgen. Wouldn't like it. Worgen. They're also very good. Then on the Horde side there are orcs, which are as you'd expect. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, orcs, which are as you'd expect. There's trolls, which are as you'd expect. Undead, which are humans that have been made undead into zombies. Tauren are cow people. They're like minotaurs, sort of. Goblins, which are as you'd expect. Blood elves are a different path that high elves could take, where they focus on magic. They became addicted to magic. Okay, I'll turn it down. Just give me a minute. Yeah, so blood elves. Let's try that. Blood elves are high elves that became addicted to magic. In a minute I can show you what all these different races look like. I'll log out and go into the character creator and show you. I'll just finish these quests and find somewhere safe to log out. Yeah, Pandaren are the only race that can choose either one. Then there's all the allied races, which are new. They're only in like the expansion before last. The expansion before this one, rather.
Inquiring minds
So
just
they're
got
races that aren't technically part of the... Yeah, I'll show you, because, yeah, there's a fair few allied races. And then in the next expansion, which comes out towards the end of the year, they're bringing in... they are bringing in Drakthir, which are dragon people. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, this is the character creator screen. So humans, dwarves. These are night elves, so they're the ones that are really nature based. Gnomes, they're one of my favourite races. I love gnomes. Quite likely, they've been playing it a lot on YouTube lately. These are Draenei, so you can kind of see why they call them space goats. These are the Worgen. So in the background, that's your human form, and then this is the werewolf form. That's the Pandaren. And these are the allied races. So you have to unlock these, you can't play them straight up. I've unlocked all of them. So there's Void Elves. So these are high elves that have been transformed by forbidden magic, so they use void magic. Lightforged Draenei, so these are Draenei that have gone off and basically they join an army that fights against demons. But we've now defeated the demons, so they join the alliance. Dark Iron Dwarves, so they're a different sort of different sect of dwarves that were originally evil, but they've now come over to our side. Kultiran, so they're humans, but they're from Kultiris, which is where this area that I'm in is. They're a very seafaring race, so like each race gets bonuses to gets like special abilities, so like humans are just all around a little bit better. Dwarves are better against frost damage and stuff like that. Whereas Kultirans, because they're very seafaring, they can swim faster, they can hold their breath longer, stuff like that. This is one of my favourites. These are mecha gnomes. So they're gnomes that have slowly replaced parts of their body with robotics. So like robot legs, robot arms, robot eyes. You could customize them all a lot too. Then there's the Horde. Orcs. Like I said, they look like orcs. Undead. These are the Tauren, so they're the like cow people. Trolls. Blood elves. There's often jokes made that you can't tell the difference between a male and a female blood elf because they're meant to be a very pretty race. Goblins. The Pandaren again. Then the allied races, there's Nightborn, who are elves that basically were isolated for 10,000 years, and yeah, they're really cool. They were like isolated for 10,000 years and developed a lot of more magic. High Mountain Tauren, so they're the cow people, but they're different. They are a tribe, and they get these big horns that you can actually have like antlers. The Magha orcs, so they're orcs that... This gets really confusing because orcs technically also come from a different planet, but the greenskin orcs have been corrupted by demonic energy and broken free from that corruption. The Magha orcs have come... We found by going back in time, and they're before the corruption of the demonic energy. The Zandalari trolls, so they were found, they're the trolls from a different area. And Volpira, these are one of the cutest races ever. They're tiny and they're really cute. Yeah. And then the classes, there's Warrior, so that's just, as you'd expect, either using big weapons or... My main currently, I make lots of characters usually, but currently the one I'm playing is a Void Elf Priest. Because the main reason I made a Void Elf, I don't really care about their bonuses that much. Though things like spell casts aren't delayed by damage is nice, because normally if you're casting spells and someone hits you, then it delays the... then it knocks back health, makes you take longer to cast, but Void Elves don't have that. But there's... if you get the allied race to level 50, for the first time you get a special set of armor that you can use, so, and an achievement. Warriors, so they can either use one big weapon, two big weapons, or a small weapon and a shield, depending on if you're damage or tank. I don't know if you know what tank is. There's basically 3 roles that you can play in almost every RPG. There's tank, DPS or damage dealer, and healer. Tank is the guy that stands there and takes lots of damage. They make sure everything attacks them, so they're the ones taking damage, and your damage dealers and healers is protected. Damage dealers are, as you'd expect, they're the ones that do as much damage as possible, and healers are the ones that sit and make sure everyone stays alive. Then you can break damage dealer down more into AoE damage, or single target damage, or dot damage, which is doing damage to lots of things at once, doing damage to one thing, damage over time. But yeah, so warriors can be either a tank or damage, depending, and if you want to be a tank, then you need a shield, pretty much. There's hunters. They can use melee, but mostly use ranged, and they all have a pet. So you can also choose to go get a talent called Lone Wolf, which means that you do more damage, but you don't get a pet anymore. Mages, who only do damage, they are masters of magical elements. So he can be fire, ice, or arcane. Rogues, who use 2 little weapons, they can stealth, so they're sneaky damage dealers basically. Priest, which is what my character is currently, they can be a healer or a damage dealer. If they're a damage dealer, then they're a shadow priest, so they're using a lot of shadow magic. Healers are holy or discipline, which is either means you're doing lots of healing, or discipline means that you heal people, but you also use things like a shield spell that protects them as well. Warlock, which, as you can see, they use demons. They summon demons, they use demonic magic. Paladin, so they're like a warrior, but they're holy, so they can actually are one of the few that can be a tank, a healer, or a damage dealer. They either use one big weapon, a weapon and a shield, or a weapon and a shield. And the weapon and the shield can either be to protect people or to buff up their spell power to let them kill people. Then there's Druid. Druids are nature magic users. They can be a tank, a healer, a ranged damage, or a melee damage. So if they're a tank, then they turn into a bear. If they're a healer, then they stay like this, and they do heal the people with nature. If they're a ranged damage dealer, then they get something called Moonkin form, which is like I think they're called owl bears. So they cast spells. If they're a melee damage dealer, they get turned into a cat, and they act like a rogue. Then Shaman, they are pure nature, well they're elemental magic users. So they can be healer, range damage, or melee damage. If they're a healer, they use elements like water to heal people. If they're a range damage, they become elemental, so they shoot lightning and lava, that sort of, and earth. If they're a melee damage, then they're using 2 weapons, and they buff those weapons with earth and fire. There's Monk, who are martial artists. They can tank, and their tanking is basically getting drunk. Like, a lot of their stuff is to do with like getting drunk, so they dodge more easily, they can take more damage, that sort of thing. There's demon hunters, who can only be night elves or blood elves. They use demon energy, but rather than summoning demons and using magic, they've actually taken in part of a demon into them. So they're blind, but they can still see using demonic energy, and they did that to fight demons. And then there's Death Knights. Death Knights are undead, but they're a specific kind of undead where they've been brought back as a Death Knight. So they are like warriors, but they use runes and a lot of undead magic sort of stuff. They can use like disease stuff, plagues, that sort of thing. And then in the new expansion, they're bringing in Evoker, which don't know a lot about yet because I haven't really looked into it. Yeah. Usually I play Hunter or Druid because Hunters are really good because they're good range and they do lots of damage. Their pet can act as a tank. Druids are really good because they can have lots of different forms, including they don't need a flying mount, they have a flight form. They turn into a bird or a bat depending on what race they are. But yeah. And then if you customize more, you can change all, depending on what class you are, you can change like skin color and hair color. They have all different interesting things. Yeah, night elves are purple. Night elves are the stereotypical night elf that people think of is like this sort of color with like green hair, something like that, and ridiculous eyebrows. One of my favourite hairstyles that any class gets though is if you are, I'll have to go back. If you are a female gnome, you can have this giant beehive on top of your head. Because obviously that's really good for fighting. Yeah, and if you're a mecha gnome, you can actually change what your arms look like, decide whether you get legs, different paint types. You can change what your face looks like, how robotic your face is. Draenei, you can. Yeah. So they're Draenei. You can see why people call them space goats. And yeah, Alliance and Horde typically can't do anything together. They're more likely to fight each other because there's PvP where you do fight Alliance versus Horde. But they are slowly changing it so that they can do more stuff together. It's okay. Love you. I've just been rambling about stuff anyway. Yeah, I kind of know way too much about WoW. Thank you.
I require a target.
Yeah, and there are other races that you can't play that are around the place, but like there's lizard people, fair enough. I don't think I needed to level to get that ability. Dark Thoughts. Mwah. Pretty sure all of us have that ability, have the Dark Thoughts ability.
Gonna serve us well.
I do not have a target.
Do I want to know what that slot's doing there?
You'll find me wherever the action is.
Back on a bat. Yeah, So yeah, different races can only be certain classes. Humans, I think, have the most diverse amount that can be, possibly. I can't remember anymore. Used to be a lot more, though. They've slowly made it so that races, more races can be more classes. Like when they first started, only Horde could be Shamans and only Alliance could be Paladins. That got changed in Burning Crusade, the first expansion, when Draenei came out and they could be Shamans, so they were the first Alliance Shamans, and Blood Elves were the first Horde Paladins. And each race has its own starting area,
Here,
so
I can feel it. Inquiring minds just got to know.
yeah, like there's lots of stories for every race, because so this is World of Warcraft. There have been 3 games before that were Warcraft 1, 2 and 3 that were different stories, and this I think takes place after all of them. Yeah. So the Warcraft games though were very different. They were what's called RTS or real-time strategy. So instead of controlling one hero like I do, you actually controlled armies. I used to play Warcraft a lot. And Blizzard, who make this, have also made StarCraft, which I love StarCraft 2. I never played StarCraft 1. Oh yeah, right. So StarCraft is also a real-time strategy, but instead of being set on Azeroth, which is the planet this is set on, it's set all across space with 3 basic races. The Terran, let's see if I can remember these. The Terrans, remember now, but there's basically one that's an insect race, one that's humans, and one that's an alien race that's sort of like the Draenei. And then there's also Diablo series, which is different again. That's more like what World of Warcraft is like, except it's all about angels and demons, and there's Nezarim, which are essentially half angel, half demon, who are the characters you play, and they're like super powerful. And then the more recent games they've made have been Overwatch, which is a first-person shooter. Yeah, they look just like normal humans though. It's kind of boring. They're just really powerful. Oh, you probably would really like. What's her name? God, I can't remember anything to do with StarCraft at the moment. There's a character in that who started off as a human woman, and she got taken over by the insect race, and she is ridiculously hot. I'll find you a photo in a minute. Yeah, she doesn't really look like a bug lady, but yeah, you'll see. Zerg. The that's right, it's Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. Kerrigan. Sarah Kerrigan. The Queen of Blades. Yeah, that's what the insect race are called. The Zerg. Okay. I sent you a picture of Kerrigan on Instagram. And they're not actually bugs, they are aliens. They're just sort of loosely based on bugs, like they have a hive mind. Yeah, they have a hive mind and all their bases are underground and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, so she used to be a human, and then, yeah, that's pretty much what I thought, the main thing I thought you'd like. You can see why she calls herself the Queen of Blades. Yeah, I should play StarCraft again sometime. No, not really. See, League of Legends is based on...
Loads of forgotten knowledge.
Well, it's not based on, but the kind of game it is, which is called a MOBA, I
Truth
believe,
is out there. Keep your eyes on the
started from a Warcraft 3 custom mod called Dota.
Hey there. Have a good one.
I used to play Dota a lot, back when it was a Warcraft 3 mod. Then they brought out Dota 2, which was an actual game in its own. I've never really played that. And then League of Legends has come from that, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I never got into League of Legends. It's one of those games that I think you have to put a lot of time into learning. Especially if you want to be any good, and I just don't have the desire to do that. I prefer games that I can play pretty easily just from the start, even if it's not... I don't pretend to be good at games. I'm not good at games. I just play them because I like them. Whereas, yeah, I think League of Legends is one that if you want to really enjoy it, you have to be pretty good at it. Yeah, no, I played World of Warcraft, a lot of World of Warcraft. I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect games are really good. Dragon Age Origins, Portal games. I love the Portal games. Half-Life 2. I really like Half-Life 2. Oh, what right? Oh, this stuff. The quest log. Is that what you mean? This one over here? Not really. Though I honestly don't look at it all that much anyway, because I basically know what I'm doing. Same reason that, like, if it's new quests and stuff, I'll read all this, but because I have done all these quests so many times, I don't really read it. Because it's easy enough to fix though. Like, if you found that this was too much text, you can just shift click and get rid of stuff. That way you can sort of be like, okay, this is just the quest I'm doing now.
What's on your mind? Off with you.
And there's lots of ways. There's a lot of what's called mods for this game too,
Soldier,
where that change the way things work. So no like gameplay changes, but like there'd be ones that you can change the quest log up. I use a couple of mods, but I don't really bother with too many at the moment.
Your legend grows. By the light, first strike belongs to us.
At the moment, the main ones I use are one called Scrap, which auto sells items that aren't worth keeping. So like items is basically a few different ranks of rarity. So grey is trash. That's stuff that's really common. There's no use for it, so it's just to sell and make money. There's white, which is common. Generally, you'll just sell that as well, but that can also be things like meat and herbs and stuff that you use for crafting. There's green items, which are uncommon, so they're generally gear, and it's the sort of lowest level of gear you'd want to use. There's blue, which is rare, so that's again just better gear. There's purple, which is epic. That's the highest level of gear most people will have. There is also orange, which is legendary, but that's very hard to get. And then there's also things like there's light blue stuff, which are called heirlooms. So any of my characters I can use these heirlooms, and they scale as I level. But like they'll stop most of the stuff I've got will stop scaling once I get to level 44. Some already has, like the trinket stopped. This trinket stopped when I got to level 34. Because you have to pay a lot of money to get the stuff to keep it scaling. So yeah, I've got Scrap, which just auto sells pretty much anything that's grey. I can also add stuff to it, to the list it's got of what it auto sells, so that if there's a particular piece of gear that I get often that I don't want. Rip, it cut out for a bit? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I've got Scrap, so that just auto sells. That's the sort of grey stuff that I don't need. I can set it to auto sell low level gear, so if I'm going back and doing early stuff and I'm getting stuff that is absolutely useless for me to keep, it will auto sell that.
Help you. See you later.
Because I often, especially when I get to max level, I might go back and do, yeah, and I've got 22,805 gold at the moment, but which is a fair amount, but also not very much. But yeah, when I get to max level, if I'm not feeling like doing max level stuff, I might go back and do instances, so dungeons that are from earlier stuff, because there's all these achievements, lots of achievements that you get for doing different stuff. Then there's also mounts you can get, and pets you can get, and lots of reasons to do stuff. So scrap's really good for that. Then I've also got deadly boss mods, so that just helps when you're doing instances.
Good.
Oh, this is one of the really good animation ones.
I hope the war chief's
Blizzard do
faith
really good
is well
cutscenes.
placed.
She seems very powerful, certain, in control.
It is an honor to serve my queen.
My princess is also strong-willed and sure of herself. Our king has always found her to be challenging.
Almighty Rezan, as always, you come
So these are
when I ask your aid.
Zandalari trolls. They're very heavily based on like Jamaica and that sort of area. They have voodoo sort of stuff and
I
that
have
sort
sought
of stuff.
the
It's-
aid of the Horde, but my father may not agree with my actions. Advise me. You are the lower of kings and queens.
My eyes see much. They see your boldness, your power, and enemies who fear both. And those who seek your demise are here.
We need cover! Head for that fog bank! The sails are
and, like
dead!
they've got
We've got more
lower,
wind!
which are essentially they're gods, I believe, but they're like animal spirits. So actually, this character is a princess. So she worships Rezan, the Lower of Kings, who's a giant dinosaur, as you can see. Then there's the Lower of Death. There's a spider lower. There's all sorts. Oh no!
We are home.
And yeah, if I was playing Horde, then I'd be working with them and I'd learn a lot more about the lower. But because I'm Alliance, we work with Cultists, the humans.
See you around.
I might make a Horde character at
What
some
can I do
point.
for you? Be good.
Currently I'm happy playing this one, but yeah, I'll often have multiple characters going at a time. Yeah.
Great to meet you. Keep your feet on the ground.
How do you want to test it? Silly Billy.
Ha! Bleed real good. They leave you here to die.
Test.
I must get closer.
Right skin.
43. Yeah, sounds about right.
Gonna bleed real good. They leave you here to die.
Fishing break. Rough. Destroying their cannons. No cannons for you.
How are you? Safe travel. See you soon.
Talk to me.
Hey there. 40 alive.
Hey! Ready for action.
So annoying when quests like this make me use like the boats they want and the stuff they want, because I could fly there myself so much faster, especially now that I'm level 40, so I have the fastest flying. But no, not allowed. I have to go on the boat they want me on. Probably try and finish the quest in this area and then stop. Yeah. There we go. Off the boat, so now I can fly at least this little bit on my own.
I answer to the voice of the mountain. Trifling with fire. delve. Forges glow. Watch over here.
Let's see if this will work better now. Why is that not working? Try again now. What's this? It's called Fragment of the Firelands. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so it's just really slow to work. Good to know. Oh, the goblins. There we go. That was weird.
Speak your peace if you must.
Any orders? I'll be waiting.
You need something? See you later.
The Horde will fall.
You have my attention. It's Shaw. Matthias Shaw.
Your legend grows.
Let me show you what.
Okay. I am going to stop now.
Travel site.
Come, let us parley.
Greetings, sir, and...
Bye, I love you. Mwah. I'll probably stream again tomorrow, because I likely won't while Anya's here, because otherwise she'll just want to play.